Hi everyone, it's me. So today, guess what? I've been in England for 4 years. 4 years both seems like nothing and also seems like forever. Does that make sense? So for this video, guess what? I've got no plan. Why plan for things? Normally when I do videos, I don't write scripts or anything and I usually only do one take. But this time, I don't really know what I want to talk about. I think I would like to share a combination of embarrassing moments and maybe like a story time sort of thing. Some of the stories I've had for the last 4 years. Stories I've had, things that have happened to me. Who cares? I also realized at the time of filming this that we are on the precipice of 50,000 subscribers, which guess what? I also haven't planned for. So I probably would like to do a 50,000 subscriber video separately. So if we are at that point or very close to it, just hold tight. I'll think of something. So here are embarrassing stories and things that have happened to me the last 4 years I've been living in England. So without further ado, let's go. Now, not all of these are positive. I guess there is this speech right here. Not all of these things are positive, but that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy living in England. I think some people get a little bit sensitive when I talk about bad things that have happened to me, and they say, well, why are you still here? You should just leave. No country is perfect and no life experience is perfect, and I don't ever want to portray that my life is fantastic and everything is great, because that's not true, and I think that's like really harmful, you know, the whole social media thing. So not all of these stories are positive, but they are 100% true. Okay, I made a couple of notes a few minutes ago. Okay, how about this one? I went shooting. I shot clay pigeons, which was really cool, even though I am almost blind. I can't see like at all. And to make it a little bit more confusing, I'm right-handed, but my other eye is the dominant eye, if that makes sense for any shooters out there. But the fact that I was still pretty good, pretty nice. So if there is a zombie apocalypse, you know, I might last for a few days because I can kind of shoot. I have cried both on the bus and on the train. Awesome. Thankfully, the Brits do not like any sort of public displays of emotion. So if you need to cry on public transportation, just try and keep it as quiet as you can, because people will ignore you and pretend that you're not there and that this situation is not happening. And for that, I am thankful. I climbed Mount Snowdon, which was super cool. I also climbed it in a garbage bag because I was not prepared. So basically, I was going to climb Mount Snowdon. It was a last minute thing. I was not prepared. I did not have the right clothing. I didn't even have the right coat because I'm an idiot. But I thought, it's now or never. Long story short, it had to be then. So I'm like, I'm going to do it. I had layers and layers of like sweats on, like jumpers and on top of each other and sweatpants and everything. And I thought, well, as it's probably going to rain, what if I utilize a garbage bag? And guess what? It didn't work. I took it off after maybe like 5 minutes because it was pouring so hard it did literally nothing other than it made me look like an absolute lunatic. But Snowdon is so pretty, especially Northern Wales is really, really pretty. It looks like what I would expect Middle Earth from Lord of the Rings to look like. It's beautiful, just like rolling hills and mountains and all sorts of stuff. It's wonderful. So if you do have a chance to visit or to climb Mount Snowdon, I definitely recommend it. But I also recommend, I don't know, maybe being prepared. So I had a friend in London. She was living in London. I'm down in Kent. And we always did like Harry Potter related stuff together. We were like Harry Potter friends. So we went and saw The Cursed Child on stage, which was really cool. We did a free Harry Potter tour in London, which is also really cool, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody into that kind of thing. But we also had a cinema date. So I came up from Kent into London. We were gonna see, it must have been like Fantastic Beasts when that first came out because it was Harry Potter related and we were Harry Potter friends. And I remember sitting down and I had a giant thing of like Coke or Pepsi or whatever. And, you know, like someone who's been living in a cave their whole life, I squeezed the thing too hard and the top popped off and it exploded all over my body at the beginning of a 3-hour movie. Yay! A couple summers ago, I took my mom to feed alpacas in Kent because apparently that's a thing. I can't remember what the place was called, but if I do remember, I'll put a link down below. It's not sponsored, obviously, because why would they do that? But it was pretty cool, and we had a lot of fun, and it was a beautiful day. And they look absolutely ridiculous. I am not that athletic. I don't know if you know this about me, but I am not athletic. I do go to the gym. I try to go to the gym because I like to eat, so sue me. But a while back, I was trying to get into running, which is like one of the things that I just was never good at. And I thought, okay, this is ridiculous, but here we go. We're saying it anyway. We're friends now. We're almost 50,000 friends. Don't tell anybody I told you this. I love true crime, and I was thinking, you know, if a murderer was chasing me, I wouldn't be able to outrun him. So I got into running. Anyway, I did a 5K race with Race for Life, which is a women's only race here in the UK. So I did a 5K and I was feeling really good. I was like, yeah, I could run away from any murderer, but I can do better. So I decided to do a 10K with Race for Life like the following summer, which I completed. But the race fell on a heat wave, which England loves to have in the summertime. And I don't know if you guys remember, this would have been a couple summers ago and it was like 35 degrees out. Yeah, I ran my first 10K in 35 degrees. It was so hot. And I just remember standing at the beginning and I just was pouring water onto my body and it felt like it was just like sizzling off. It was so hot. And that was actually the first time I ever ran 10K in like one go, because at that point at the gym I couldn't even get to 10K. So yeah, I ran a 10K race in a heat wave. One summer I went to Edinburgh, which was absolutely beautiful. I would love to live there. I'm sure it's crazy expensive. Also, I don't know if I'd survive the winters in Edinburgh. It looks a bit cold and dark, but beautiful city. And it was a beautiful, again, hot summer day during the Fringe Festival. If you guys are aware of that one, I booked a trip to Edinburgh and I didn't realize the Fringe Festival was on. So it was super busy and crowded and there were so many people. So I was on the main street and I was trying to navigate all the people. There's a lot of people. And I'm looking up like a tourist because I am one. And I ran into a concrete bollard, which hurt like hell. So leave it to me to go on vacation and to hurt myself because it always happens. I've had the absolute pleasure of working with a lot of people here in England. I've had 2 different jobs now. And I'm always the token Canadian in that particular office, which is weird but also pretty cool. But it also means that I tend to get absolutely spoiled on Canada Day. Take a look at my desk. Are you kidding me? How beautiful. So a lot of people don't know how Adventures in Naps really started. You just kind of found me. Hi, welcome. I'm glad you stuck around. Adventures in Naps started as a blog. So just before I moved to England, I started writing once a week on adventuresinapps.com, and it was like my live journal, basically. I wanted to sort of document the things I was feeling and what I was doing and all those different experiences as a live journal. So I did that for probably a year. I want to say a year maybe, and I was getting really bored of it. And I thought, well, maybe I'll do YouTube videos. At this point, I have, please don't watch them. I know some people will now that I say it. There's two old videos, how to get a bank account and how to get a driver's license. And I did those two and they were kind of fun, but I was really nervous, and it's really strange talking to a camera. And even though I'm by myself, like, I still get a little bit nervous. Anyway, I did those two videos, but nothing really stuck. That's not a word, surely. Nothing really stuck. What is the word I'm trying to think of? Let's change the sentence. It wasn't until much later when I actually started doing YouTube videos specifically to continue doing YouTube videos. So once I started, again, once a week, and I haven't missed a week since. For people who don't know, this is just my hobby. This is not my job. I have a real job, one that, you know, pays my bills. But this is very much my hobby. It is wildly time consuming, but I really do enjoy it, and I've continued to do it, and I will keep doing it until it's just not fun anymore. But I have been noticed once, been recognized. How ridiculous is that? So I was meeting up with my friends, my murder friends, actually. So sidebar, I do a true crime podcast with my girlfriends. It's called Murder Friends. There's links down below. You can check it out. Anyway, I was meeting up with my murder friends for lunch, and I thought I'd go into town like a little bit early and I'd do some shopping because I was looking for a bowl of all things. I needed a bowl like to put my keys in. I actually still have it. I'd show it to you, but I don't want to get up right now. So I'm rifling through my purse to get the right change because it was like £1.20, and I thought, I'm not going to pay for this on card. I'm sure I have £1.20 somewhere. And the cashier was this young girl. I want to say maybe she was like 18. And she says, "Can I ask you a weird question?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Do you post videos on YouTube?" And I thought, oh God, I am leaving my body. I don't remember most of the conversation because I was like, you know when you're like embarrassed, but like there's adrenaline and you don't really remember what happens? That's basically what happened to me. But I do remember her saying she recognized me from my glasses and my hair, you know, my two most notable things about me. And she said she had watched a video of me making a grilled cheese. She watched a video of me making a grilled cheese on the internet and then recognized me. How insane is that? So she was very kind. She's the only one that's approached me that she's recognized me. And in that situation, it was totally fine. A sidebar, I guess, for this, if you ever do see me, don't approach. I'm a bit paranoid, and I think if I was just like walking on the street alone and some stranger like walked up to me and was like, "Hey, I know you," I would probably think that I'm about to die and get cut up into a million pieces and disposed of in the woods. So maybe don't say anything on the off chance I leave my house and you see me. But she was very sweet, and I don't really remember much of the conversation because I was so embarrassed. But it's just crazy how a hobby like this, in that particular video, I had a rough day at work. I was having a rough week. I was in my pajamas. I decided, why don't I film a video cooking a grilled cheese, which is like a staple Canadian, like when you're feeling kind of crappy meal. I was like, I'll film that, you know, I hope it's funny. And the fact that she then sat through that video, and she must have watched a couple other ones enough to recognize me in the street, was just crazy. And it's so crazy how this whole like YouTube thing has developed. I've been really lucky to see quite a bit of the UK, not tons, because it costs money and I am very busy and I don't have a lot of money, but I think one of my favorite places, Bath, was absolutely beautiful, and the architecture in Bath is just unbelievable, and there's so much history. It just seemed like a really neat city. I also really liked York. I get a lot of northerners commenting on my videos, telling me to come up north. Guys, it's cold up there. But I did really love York. It rained the whole time, of course, but it is historical and it's beautiful and it's very cozy. You know, you find a nice pub and you just sort of hold out. Was a really nice trip. But as I've reached 4 years in England, it's... Last year, I posted a very emotional video. You can go back and watch it if you want. I cried. So, spoiler alert, if you go watch that video. But to be honest, at 4 years, I feel like I am in the best place that I have maybe ever been. We're getting deep here, guys. We're getting emotional. Strap in. Yeah, I feel like I'm in the best place that I have been. I think about who I was when I first moved to England. I mean, 4 years ago, young, I'll tell you that much, very young. And this has been an unbelievable experience, and I will never be the person that I was before, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Uh-oh, what if I cry again? Anywho, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry because stiff upper lip and all that. But honestly, I feel like I'm in emotionally the best place that I've ever been. And I am so lucky to share all this stuff with really 50,000 strangers on the internet. Thank you so much for sticking through all this stuff. All the cooking, all the junk food, all the rants, all the crying. I really appreciate it. And I think that might be it for me. I've had a lot of embarrassing moments, but I've had a lot of good moments too. And I don't know what 2020 has in store for me, but one day at a time, and whatever happens, I will have this camera with me so you'll know what happens. I don't want to get into too many thank yous because I do want to do a 50,000 subscriber video at some point, I promise. Fingers crossed, I promise. Probably. Most likely I will. Usually, probably. Anyway. So thank you guys so much for being here for the last 4 years. Thank you to the people that end up sticking around for the next undetermined amount of years. I have had such a wonderful time living here, and I don't know what to say. Okay, I guess I should stop rambling. I hope you enjoy whatever this video really is. I don't really know. But I don't know much things. Much things? But thank you so much for being there with me on this journey, whatever you want to call it. Thank you so much for, the thumbs ups on my videos, the nice comments, being a subscriber, watching me on Twitch, or joining my Patreon. All of it is just insane. I'm not going to get into that. I said I wasn't going to get into that. This is about 4 years. It's not about subscribers. Okay, my butt is completely numb and I can't feel my legs anymore, but I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are having a good time, and I hope you have a great December, and I hope good things happen to you, because good things have been happening to me, and I feel so grateful and happy and good. I feel good inside, but I don't know how I'm going to turn this camera off. Oh my god, because I can't feel my legs. Wow. Okay, anyway, this has been a rambling video. I hope you had fun. I will see you next week, and I should stop talking. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye! How do I stand up when you can't feel your legs? Oh my god!